There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy.
Movie night with JL Media is back once again. It is Hamilton 69 Max. Good Rich Quality Theaters is where we're doing it. The movie tonight, Miss Mandy, Aliens.
Aliens.
I'm an Aliens fan.
Me too. I love Sigourney Weaver, but I don't think she's in this one.
Hey, listen.
I love her.
Everybody knows who listens to JL Media today that you were on vacation.
I was. I missed our friends.
Yeah, don't do that anymore because we needed you.
Oh, you guys did just fine without me.
Of course we did, but still, it's better.
I missed you guys too, but it was nice for me to get away
It's
for a little
better
bit.
with a shot of Mandy.
Aw.
Is all I'm thinking. Would you like to introduce our guest tonight?
I would love to introduce our guest tonight. So our first person's kind of, become an unofficial co-host for you because she's been on so many shows, and I'm excited to say she's going to be joining us for the rest
This
of
lady,
season 2.
she bought a seat on every flipping episode for the rest of the year.
She did.
How can you not?
We might as well call her co-host now for this show, this season anyway,
It's
right?
so much fun.
I think so.
But we got Heather Woods of Into the Woods by Heather.
Hey,
Miss
how was your
Heather.
trip? Was it good?
My trip was amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm
You
glad
so
to be back with
deserved
you
it.
guys, but I want to go back, but it's okay.
It's okay.
We also have another, he's playing with his phone, another person that has been on our show before, but we're excited to have him back. We have Shane from Presomnia.
Hello. And I wasn't playing on my phone, Mandy. I was posting a link on my Facebook
see?
for everybody
Telling
to tune in
everybody,
live
tune
because it's
in.
Marketing.
Tune in.
Yeah.
Marketing, that's what
Multitasking.
you
Well, I didn't
Yeah,
want to
ta.
interrupt you.
Now, I want to go ahead and say this guy is a close personal friend of mine. Not only is he a phenomenal musician, he's cool to just sit around and drink with.
Yeah.
It was a
He's
lot
an
of
awesome
fun,
guy.
man. I love the guy.
Aw, thank
And
you,
he's
Don.
a
I love you
hugger.
too, man.
He's a hugger like we are, too, which we love.
I did not get that hug when he came in.
Oh, I did.
Well, he's going to leave later, so you can get
Okay.
one then.
Yeah, that's right. And then, of course, our third guest tonight we're really excited about because one of our new interns is joining us tonight.
I like this kid. Brenton.
Yeah, Brenton.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me.
First time on the
Grateful.
mic. We actually met you here.
Yes, absolutely. I work here at the Hamilton 69 Max.
Do you still work here?
Yes, have for almost 2 years now. Wow.
That is very cool, brother. Just not Friday nights, I guess.
Well, I was sure to take this night off, so
Good man.
because I was
Good man.
very grateful for the opportunity. So
And that is the panel behind. Well, that is the panel today. But Mandy, right behind you, looking at you. Who do we have here?
Of
We'll
course.
go ahead and bring our man Mitch in.
We do. We have the general manager of Goodrich Hamilton 69 Max with us tonight, Mitch. One of our
Mitch.
best buddies.
That's Mitch Ross, general manager of Hamilton 69 Max. I'm trying to get Mandy's attention to her turn around and look at people, try and talk to her. There we are.
I've got a couple questions for Mitch myself.
Okie dokie. Fire away.
No. Go ahead. It'll all come later.
Brother, how you doing?
Good.
We had a big opening last night.
We did.
This is a good movie.
It's cool. Did you watch it?
I have not seen it yet. Everybody's talking about it. They wouldn't shut up today. That's all I've
Rad.
heard.
I enjoyed the heck out of it. I went in with pretty high expectations because it has one of my favorite trailers this year
Uh-huh.
with that John Denver Country Road.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yeah, it was an awesome trailer. And so I went in kind of wondering what they were going to do, and basically they're just trying to take the universe that they've built with Prometheus and then do it with aliens. It's cool.
That's very cool.
I enjoyed it.
You an Aliens guy? Do you enjoy the franchise? Or?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, I get the general manager here at Hamilton 69 Max. I mean, do you love everything that comes through? I mean, you can't follow everything.
No, I'm a snob. I hate most things, but I am a nerd. And here's the thing. I've got a soft spot for science fiction. Most science fiction is crap. Okay.
Preach it.
It's bad. It's a lot of bad movies, but with big ideas.
Right,
And
yeah.
I like science fiction because it's got big ideas, but a lot of the movies are just terrible. So Alien is not something that's been super guilty of that. I mean, I think Alien 4 is probably my least favorite of all the movies they've made. But I thought the first two especially were just amazing and kind of set a really high bar for other action and horror movies to come.
Right.
Now, Mitch, are you of the consolidated peoples that believe that Alien 3 is not canon?
I don't know.
This is a big stink for me because I think it is.
It is canon.
Yeah.
And if you read the comic books, especially, or any of the literature that was coming out on the side, what Alien 3 did kind of ahead of its time was establish like the idea that the xenomorphs take on whatever form of animal they come out of, and in Alien 3
that's the
that
only
alien
time that it's validated.
is clearly a dog.
Yeah.
It clearly acts like
well,
one.
an ox in the original. They turned it into
Yeah.
a dog in the special edition, which I think is a lot better for its, its commonalities and its primal instinct and stuff like that, and how it hunted.
Right. And so, like, I mean, to me, that was always a really interesting idea. That movie doesn't do a great job with the exposition and talking about what we're seeing.
No.
But
It's definitely a yarn.
yeah. But it was a cool idea, and they, the movie suffers just from new director disease. If Fincher did that one, and you could tell he was competent, but all he had done before then, I think, was music videos. And
Hey, you know what? For the first go out, he did a darn good job.
Yeah.
He did a damn good job. It
Yeah.
was wonderful, I thought. Rumor control.
Well, and also, if you're aware that Fox was very, very stingy with control over that movie, and Fincher was kind of brought in late in the process, and because he was a new director, he didn't have much say, and this was after they had gone through like several script revisions on that movie, and so the whole thing was a mess, and it's kind of a miracle that they ended up with somewhat of a cohesive movie at the end of it.
Yeah, it's a good flick, though.
73% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
See, you guys got me turned on to Rotten Tomatoes. I never paid any attention to the critics or anything before I started doing this show.
I mean, I have to.
Sure, I understand that.
Some things are critic-proof. Like, Fate of the Furious gets 8% or something. No one cares. It doesn't affect it making $1 billion.
Right.
Transformers is critic immune. There's certain movies that I'm not saying anything bad about Transformers. I know there are a lot of people who love those movies.
Especially the one my brother's in.
That's right, especially that one.
That one.
But for the most part, if there's an unknown title, a good example of this would be where Passengers really had to do a really heavy marketing campaign to kind of overcome that, and ended up making its money and having some legs down the road.
Right.
But even with all the star power that it had, it struggled a little bit out of the gate because of a really tough critical response. And especially when it comes to science fiction, where, let's be honest, it's a very masculine genre. If I'm going to talk, Alicia into coming out to see a movie with me, it's got to look interesting and good to her too. And critics, can cause that audience to stay home.
Sure. Okay.
I think mixing the politics of like social, dismemberment is a mistake for sci-fi. I really do. I think let the stories be what they are, involving who they involve, and just let them float out. We put too much emphasis on the social reform of how characters go about things, like with aliens and stuff, especially with Sigourney Weaver being such a prominent female figure in such a male-dominated time as the action genre. But even then, let's look back at the basics. In the original Alien, she wasn't even the main character. You know what I mean? Tom Skerritt was, Dallas. You thought the entire movie, this guy, this is the one I need to be following until he dies halfway through. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, oh, sorry, spoiler alert. A 30-year spoiler alert.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by Alien. I just finished writing a movie called Psycho Drive, and it kind of hails to a similar universe as to what the Nostromo and that crew, that universe they reside in. Basically, I wrote a story about people who are kind of on the job in space. And I think the thing that's most interesting about Alien is the first scene where they're all sitting around the table eating their dinner, complaining. They're all obviously union guys. They're complaining about their contract. They need a bonus. They need this. They need that. And it establishes everything else. We don't need to know anything more about the two engineers. And you don't. We don't know where they're from. We don't know anything about their family. We don't know anything about their history. We know they're two crusty, smart, fairly capable, mechanically inclined guys who hate their job.
Right.
And we don't need to know any-
engineers, mind you. Let it never be said that they were idiots.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, for sure. And so all that's really interesting, and the cast of officers versus crew and that whole thing makes that whole movie a different thing. Mm-hmm. It's because everybody has been on the job. Everybody's had that crude talking, wisecracking person they work with, and then something tries to kill them all while they're at work. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I work at a movie theater. If an alien came in here and tried to eat all these kids and me, that would be terrifying. Unlikely.
I can just imagine it now.
But terrifying.
Just xenomorphs lining the
Right.
skyline of the Hamilton.
Right. It's all fun and games till I get a chest burster, while I'm in the concession stand. That's not going to work out well.
It is movie night with JL Media. We're live. Hamilton 69 Max is where we do it. Good, rich, quality theaters in the beautiful Hamilton Town Center. Into the Woods by Heather.
Hey.
You had a lot going on here the last week or two.
Oh my gosh, Mother's Day rush, man.
Rocking a fantastic do, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Had that done on the way here. In the car on the way here. No. Had it done before I came.
So what all were you making the last couple of weeks for Mother's Day?
Mother's Day. So, when I started in Christmas, I told you I only had like 3 products. So bath bombs, bath salts, and body scrubs. Well, then I branched out and I started making body butter, and that's been my biggest sell. That's what everybody loves. And that's what I sold the most of. I even just got me a second mixer.
I saw that. You were very excited.
Thelma and Louise, I named them.
Do you spell it like Budda? Like, I think it should be
Like
body
butter.
Body butter.
Butter.
Body butter.
Like melt like butter. That's not a bad idea.
Well, tell us the premise of all your products. You don't just make body butter in the bathtub.
No. My body butter only has like 3 products in it. So there's nothing toxic. It's all organic. It's all raw material. So it's really good for you.
Yeah.
You don't have all the... I know you like your toxins and all.
I love my toxins. We've talked about this, yes.
I know you do. But I don't. So...
Most people don't know this, Johnny, but I actually had them Botox my torso. This is toxins literally injected into my midsection because I was sick of being svelte.
Ah.
And,
That's why you're such a happy man now.
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly what it is.
I wanted that Buddha look.
That's right. Follow the Buddha.
Buddha.
That's right. However, late at night, I rubbed some body butter.
Well, is that what we're doing now?
No, that is not what
Body
we're doing.
butter
now.
for everyone.
That is not what we're doing. now.
Go ahead and spread some of that body butter on you.
Butter.
You'll feel so much better. Better with the butter.
Since he's on point right now, let's talk about Presomnia, brother. What's going on with the band?
I'm just on one, Johnny. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to be talking about Alien with you fine people. Presomnia. Doing new music right now. Not really too much to tell. We had a little hiccup with scheduling on the last couple of shows that we did, so formal public apology for that. But you can't help work schedules, and you can't help family. So, you know what I mean? We got to take care of family first. You know what I mean? Got to get that paycheck too.
I guess that's one of my little frustrations. It's so hard to get everything scheduled, and when someone has to change or postpone, within the last hour before the meeting, it just really grinds my gears. So,
right. Well,
I felt your pain, brother.
The unfortunate thing is that it does happen, and everybody complains about it until it happens to them, and then it's, oh man,
sure.
What do I do? And it's just,
this is what it
sometimes
feels
just,
like.
Yeah, it just happens sometimes. You know what I mean? And it was, we took the hit on it. It was our call. Because it just scheduling conflicts just weren't going to add up for all the band members to be able to be at that show. It's just last minute stuff.
That's kind of important too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Sure.
you gotta have everybody if you want the whole sound. So, but no, man, we're just taking a back seat right now. Trying to decide different avenues to go with the music, like I was explaining to you before. Kind of keeping it under wraps at the moment. But there's new music, in store. We haven't stopped doing anything. We're just on a halt.
Oh.
Looking forward to hearing it, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, the last thing that we put out was the Albatross single, which you can still find the lyric video for that on YouTube and via our Facebook. For some odd reason, the music video for it kind of disappeared off of Facebook and YouTube. I think it was like some sort of a coding error or something.
Oh,
But,
really?
Yeah. Or, maybe it just got viewed too many times. I don't know. That's what I'd like to think because I'm kind of into myself that
So,
way.
like, cut him off before we have to give him money kind of thing?
Cut him off before he thinks he's cooler than he is. That's what it is.
Oh.
So.
Well, it is still streaming daily on Brother Beercast.
Hey, all right.
The episode
yeah.
right there with Prosomnia.
Oh, my goodness.
We've got Albatross right in there.
I'm going to go ahead and put an NC-17 rating on that. We were good and schmuckered. Thank you, PBR.
Yeah, we definitely had the warnings put out on the thing before I released it. Believe me, bro.
We had a good time, though.
That was a good day. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Hamilton 69 Max. Moving out with JO Media. Quick shout out to the sponsors while I cut Mitch off right here, one of my sponsors. Of course, good rich quality theaters. And number one, we have Habitat for Humanity of Hamilton County. Talk to the Jasons over at the Restore. There's two of them over there that we know about, but I think they're talking about hiring a few more Jasons. They're doing a lot of good stuff over there. And you got a big golf outing coming up, and a lot of good stuff going on over there at the
I've
Restore.
said it before, but I'm super proud that this show is associated with that organization. I think they're awesome.
We are lucky
And they're
to
really
have
good
them
dudes.
on board.
For sure. For sure.
Without a doubt. Individually, they're good people. Everyone that works there. Well, that I've met anyway.
And they have Jason has good hair.
Jason has cool hair. Jason
Right.
Bone.
Jason Bone.
That's right.
He's got
That's
cool hair.
Of course, I want to give a shout out to my main man, Jamie Jackson, over there at Sam Ash. Sam Ash was a sponsor of Brother Beercast from the inception, and they kind of doubled down on us and took over JL Media today. So they're sponsoring all the shows. Tonight, we've launched. It's the premiere episode right here, Mitch, of the Sam Ash Listening Center right here. Every time we go live, you'll be able to just walk by and listen to what we're saying right here while you're looking at us. Like Mandy's looking at me right now.
Mandy's modeling.
Hi, Mandy.
It's lovely.
Did you hear about the body butter?
Musicians, DJs, just, you're into recording. Anything you need, the guys over at Sam Ash in Castleton will take care of you. Talk to Jamie over there, general manager. Ryan, of course, warehouse manager. Tell them we sent you, and they're going to hook you up real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off, Mitch. Is the point moved
Yes,
now?
he did.
No, I mean, I really I have nothing valuable to contribute whatsoever.
I have no
I'm just
responsibility
over here
whatsoever.
running my mouth. I was going to make some comments about NC-17, but that's
I
all.
thought you were going back to the body butter thing.
Hey, that's that script I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah. Well, the thing that amazes me, it's like you basically NC-17 means all bets are off, right? Mm-hmm. And we say you can't purchase pornography until you're 18. However, for a year, we can get you real close.
Real close. Super close. Like Antichrist Willem Dafoe close.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's always movies like that. That, by the way, that's got. I know people who say that's
sickest film I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh!
No,
man.
no, no. It's psychologically
That guy is my
ripping.
least favorite director. I know people love him. I'm not one of his fans, but the exhibitors won't touch those films.
Oh, no.
There are always more headaches than they're worth.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember the first time I heard about NC-17. It was a movie called White Orchid with Mickey Rourke. And it was like right after 9.5 Weeks. And 9.5 Weeks came out and people were like, this is a lot of sex for a rated R movie.
Little did they know.
Or is it okay to say sex on the show, Johnny?
Absolutely.
Or should I
Well,
say
you
making
already
sweet
said it.
love?
We've done much worse than this. You know
Okay.
that, brother.
But yeah, so, NC-17 movies almost never get made. And they almost never get shown except in art houses because no one wants to touch them. Because like Antichrist came with a huge bag of
A bag
people.
of everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Anything and all bad things that you could represent in a film, and then double it, and then the guys who made the film are just like, nah, we're going to spit on it too. It's just a dirty, very depressing film.
It took me a second, but I got that.
it's such a the opening scene is just so crazy because you're looking at it, you're like, this is a beautifully shot scene.
Oh my! That is one thing I will say.
And
The
then it's-
cinematography is cripplingly
It's
beautiful.
so beautiful, and it was the first time, I think the first major production that used that new red digital 4K
Yeah.
camera, and it's gorgeous. But then it's Willem Dafoe, like, being dirty. And it was too, you're like,
You're not Harry's father anymore, are
that's
you?
right. What are you doing, Willem? What are you doing to that poor girl in the shower? This is terrible. But anyway,
I got to dial him back somehow, Heather. I've got to bring him back in.
sorry.
Reel him
My
back.
bad.
Reel him back.
I'm trying to right now. Mitch, I see that card in front of you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the
I see the
flashback
Breakfast
series.
Club.
Is that what we're doing?
Flashback. Well, currently we are in our, boy, what are we on, our 4th season of Flashback? Something like that. This week we've got Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, lovely.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So that's May 21st, May 24th, 2 and 7 p.m. On May 28th and the 31st, we have E.T., the Extraterrestrial.
Wow.
June 4th and 7th, we've got The Princess Bride.
Oh, you're
And
kidding me. You're showing The Princess Bride?
That's just a great
Yes,
oh,
sir.
that's awesome.
And June 11th and 14th, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So it's a good season.
Bam.
And I'm pushing for an 80s sword and sorcery month, but I don't think they're going to give it to me because nobody likes those movies but nerds and me.
I'm going to say the Dungeons and Dragons movie was amazing.
Which
I'm trying to remember what it was called now, and now I feel embarrassed. I always forget
You talking
names
about the
of
one with like Marlon Wayans?
No.
I was going to say, well, we should start drug testing our guests before they get on the show if you thought that was amazing.
And so, over to Brenton with the weather.
Yeah.
No. It was the one that was like supremely drafted after Dungeons and Dragons. I can't remember what it was called. It may have been called that. I just may be an idiot. I can't remember what it was called. I wasn't prepared for that one.
Okay.
But I would come and see every single one of them, as long as you include Beastmaster.
That's what I would definitely do. Beastmaster.
My man.
Conan the Barbarian. Lady Hawk.
Oh my gosh, Lady Hawk.
Lady Hawk's rad,
yeah,
right?
That's a good one.
She rocks.
Willow.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Maybe Legend, which isn't that great a movie, but is awesome.
I love Willow.
So you started
Yeah.
with the best of all of them. I was not a fan of any of the Conan movies.
You don't like the
Beastmaster,
first Conan movie?
I probably liked it. I wouldn't say I was a huge fan.
Destroyer, not that great. Barbarian,
Not a huge
awesome.
fan.
Yeah, so good.
I like Beastmaster better. I like the ferrets, I guess. I don't know.
Now, Beastmaster had 4 movies, but you only need to watch the first 2.
I
Yeah,
didn't know there were 4.
I think needs a strong word with Beastmaster 2.
apparently
That's
I
a
only
lot
needed
of
to watch the
ferrets for
first
me.
one.
That's
If
a
you
lot
want
of ferrets.
cheese that isn't the B list, like if you want good C-list cheese, go to Beastmaster trilogy.
Okay. I think we've strayed a little bit off of Alien, but I like where we're going.
Wait, I mean, C-list cheese. Is this another product that you offer at Into the Woods, Heather? No. This is not C-list chease? Okay. I didn't know if we were copyrighting
right
something
next
here
to
tonight.
the butter that I make in my bathtub.
If we were copyrighting something here tonight or not. Let's try and get back closer to aliens, Mitch. Brenton, where are we in this movie, in the series?
Okay, so Alien Covenant is a sequel to the 2012 movie Prometheus, and it's still a prequel to the original Alien movie.
So we backed up and basically restarted the franchise, would you say?
Yeah, basically, he's Ridley Scott, the director. He wanted to tell the whole backstory of where the xenomorphs came from and build a whole mythology off of that.
Right. Everybody's doing dances over here. I'm not sure what's going on.
We're going to play like Vanna White.
Okay.
Mandy is now Vanna.
All right.
Flip the headphones, find the answer.
Well, now, Brenton's got one up on me here. He's actually seen the film. What
Yeah.
did you think of it, brother?
I really liked it. I think I liked it about as much as Prometheus, and I think Prometheus was kind of contentious with the fan reaction. It was very polarizing. Either you love it or hate it, and pretty much no in between. I think this movie's kind of going to get the same type of reaction, but I think it's good. I liked it, so if you are a fan of the franchise, I'd recommend it for sure.
I'm going to tell you what, Brenton. People got Prometheus all wrong, man, and I hear you when, it was super divided down the middle. Like, yeah, they loved it or hated it.
Yeah.
But the people that hated it, they didn't realize, they called things that weren't explained plot holes, and there were no plot holes in
Right.
that movie.
Uh-huh.
Maybe run to the left. But I give you that. But in a state of panic, you're just going to go. Nobody's
Right.
intelligent when the fire's
Yeah.
surrounding you. There are no geniuses in a dumpster fire. But
Right. And that's kind of a justification for some
Right.
of, if you can say, oh, these characters are stupid, why would they bring these characters for this giant scientific expedition? Well,
For baby making.
yeah, there you
Come
go.
on, it's the Covenant. I mean, you're talking about couples going out into space to colonize families. You're creating generations. What can be more sweet than that? You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? And it's even depicted, obviously, from the Aliens movie by the man James Cameron.
Yeah.
You know, with people out at Hadley's Hope on LV-426, which I'm going to get into that later, but. I love the aspect of showing the very first colony ship made up of couples. I think it's endearing, and I think it has way more to do. And again, I'm speculative because I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it tonight.
Okay.
So, but I hope that it has more connotation than just giving me a reason to like the characters or to feel for them when one of them inevitably dies. Spoiler alert: people will die.
It's aliens.
They're going to die.
So when you're out to colonize an area, you take a couple of cases of wine, some berry white, some body butter, and
That's
you,
right.
Okay,
And some cheese.
that's what you're doing. Brent,
And some cheese.
all the main characters in this film, brother, do they
That's right.
stand on their own, or
Well,
rumor has it there's one character that everybody's identifying and judging up to Ridley.
I think they would be talking about the lead female character,
Yes, sir.
Daniels, played by Katherine Waterston. She's good. I liked her. I would not say she's the main character. She's not the first build. The main character is a carryover character from Prometheus, I would say,
Okay.
played by Michael Fassbender, who he's a fantastic actor. I love him.
Was there anything in this movie that let you down?
Not really. I mean, I've only seen it once. It takes me a couple of viewings to digest a movie, especially a big franchise movie like this. So
Sure.
as I see it more and more, I could probably analyze it more and answer that question better.
Now, is that something you normally do as a film buff?
Yeah, pretty
Several
much.
times before you can get the gist of it?
Yeah. So like my first reaction, I was like, okay, yeah, I liked it. That's a good first impression. I mean, generally my first impression never changes that much. I don't ever go from loving it to hating it or vice versa, but I can, pick it apart and see additional details that I didn't see before, continuity stuff, hidden things that the director might have slipped in there or whatever. But I don't really have many disappointments that I can think of right off the top of my
You
head.
take your movie watching seriously, don't you?
Yeah.
See, that's me. When I sit down to watch a movie, it doesn't matter if it's at home or laying in bed or in the theater. I want to concentrate on every single thing that's going on in the screen and everything that's coming out of the speakers.
And I don't like being interrupted.
That's it.
Or
Oh my
people
God,
with
no
mag lights on their
talking.
phones.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah, we had that conversation.
yeah.
That wonderful lady. Her iPhone turned into a mag light during Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, because that text was a life or death situation.
She wasn't even texting. She was just sitting there with her phone open after
That
looking
Facebook
at one.
post was a life or death
I know,
situation.
right? Seriously, this is about to be a life and death situation.
Yes. I'm trying to. Mandy doesn't understand sign language, so I'm. There we are, right there. I'm just trying to get Mitch comfortable with his microphone over there.
I'm confused about everything that's happening around me right now.
Brenton, as a movie buff, what is your favorite film?
Oh, that's good question. I can't really tell you one off the top of my head. I like certain franchises. I can say I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, the Marvel films, anything and everything that's science fiction, as we discussed, and superheroes, which that's my stuff. So something like Alien that really appeals to me. I like to think that I'm pretty well rounded with movies. I'll watch anything and everything as long as I've heard good things about it, or I just have a general interest. And
Did you see Sausage Party?
did not really want to.
My daughter tried to watch that last night, the night before. I said, oh, hell no. No.
I watched the thing. Mitch said I
No.
should see it. I'm blaming it on you, brother. I watched the thing.
I said you should. I haven't seen it. I said you should see it.
Yes, you did. When you were talking about doing a full episode to Sausage
Set 'em
Party.
up. Knock them down.
And I was watching the thing, and I was like, okay, well, I get the gist of this thing. It's kind of cool. But then about halfway through, I'm like, wait a minute. Literally, I'm not going to go in too far into it, but everybody who wrote the thing was walking around the grocery store stoned and said, "Hey, dude, that'd be funny," and it just got.
Look, we can put our wieners in the buns.
I don't even eat hot dogs anymore now, just because of this movie.
I was about to say
That's
that.
crazy talk.
It didn't make
I
you
still-
fall more in love with cold cuts?
I still love
No?
tacos. I was going to say that. Though.
That's right.
If any of you seen the movie, please.
Anytime's a good time for a taco.
Absolutely.
Oh my!
Mitch, what else is going on here?
Can't
at the
take you
theater,
guys anywhere.
Well, we got a special treat. We recently partnered with Scarlet Lane Brewery to kind of do an ongoing horror festival. It started out with the Horror Hound Fest that came to town, but basically the guys at Scarlet Lane are just big horror movie fans. And we knew one of the guys over there in particular. He had worked here for a while. He's a film director we really like. And so he's gone out and he's getting some cool, scary movies to bring in. Our first one was The Void, which is getting great reviews, which I was actually hoping to screen tonight. It looks absolutely terrifying. Tonight, though, at midnight, we're doing a movie called Devil's Candy. And it looks scary as HE double hockey stick.
Is that a prequel to Body Butter? I can't leave this alone now. That was so funny when you said that.
I may have to change my labels.
I like to have tenderly smooth haunches. I like it.
Did we just change the subject, or is we on,
Just
are we
wait.
on
No,
this?
that's why I need my body butter.
It just went somewhere else again.
Oh, the body butter.
I like to be supple as a silk purse.
And
Wait.
smell like lavender.
Wait, what did I just say? Okay, I'm going to stop now.
Can you get an Arnold
I wanna smell like-
Schwarzenegger impersonator to do your commercials? Yes, you have to get into the woods, body butter. Yes, because I said so.
I could just have
It
you
is so
do it.
smooth. It goes on like a creamy dream. I had the worst Arnold impression, but
Do you like explosions? Maybe you need a bath bomb. Get to the bathtub.
do it now.
Do it now. Get out of Sudsy. Rub it all over Rub it all over your body.
I hope.
This is amazing.
But I mean that in a sanitary way.
Oh no, we got her crying.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
All right.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Scarlet Lane.
I think I snorted, but everybody else was laughing so hard you didn't hear it.
So I know I've heard it 3 times already. So Scarlet Lane. We're going to be doing more movies with them?
Yeah, we're going to do some more horror movies with them. Like I said, Devil's Candy, if you guys haven't seen a trailer for that, they've got it's up on YouTube, and it's also on Rotten Tomatoes if you look up the film. It's getting great reviews. I mean, you got to understand, like the reason I'm emphasizing that isn't because it's unusual for a movie to get great reviews. It's not that common for horror movies to get great reviews. And people are saying it's really terrifying, and the trailer is so messed up. So
Devil's Candy?
yeah, I'm not even like the
I
biggest
hope
horror
it's
movie
not
guy
like
in the world.
the Devil's Rejects.
Oh, Devil's Rejects wasn't that scary.
Oh,
it
it
was
was
just messed. It was insane in the
horrible.
brain. That's all.
No, it's horrible.
You're not a Rob Zombie fan?
I am, but I thought that was horrible.
Just because it was gory, or because of the whole?
No, that don't bother me at all.
You
Shame.
didn't like the Tutti Frutti scene.
I just thought it was.
Everybody
really-
loves the Tutti Frutti scene.
Shane,
No.
what is his new movie?
I'm sorry.
What was his last movie that come out he did?
That's a good question. I can't remember the name of it. The last thing I remember Rob Zombie putting out
That
was
wasn't it
Salem.
31.
It's called 31.
31?
It's
30.
not-
Oh yeah. Patrick actually of Presomnia, my guitarist. He was actually talking to me about that. He was looking forward to it. I haven't really looked up anything on it.
Well, I watched the thing, and I was literally watching it on the Fire Stick. So I was at home where
Yeah.
people get to see my face. When I
Fire
was-
Stick with your pal Cody.
And it was, that's my Cody. I love him. And I watched the thing pretty much in awe the whole time. Like, why am I watching this? I'm a huge horror fan, but I'm not a.
That's
I
because
guess
it wasn't
gore.
a horror movie.
I couldn't get Steve into it, so of course we had to turn it off.
What would you call it if it's not a horror movie?
Oh, sorry. I got it all mixed up. Never mind. Sorry, I was thinking of Devil's Rejects.
Oh, okay. I was
My
saying,
bad.
well,
Sorry.
Pretty much.
You're
Rob-
talking about 31.
Yes. What I think the Devil's Rejects is as well.
I wouldn't really consider it a horror movie as much as
No,
I
I wouldn't either.
Like 90% of a snuff film. You know what I mean?
y-
Almost like in
yeah.
the vein of 88
Okay,
of
well-
8 millimeter with Nicolas Cage.
Then pretty much Rob Zombie. That's what we're talking about.
Right,
It's-
exactly.
It's, stuff
It's Rob
across the
Zombie on a
board.
Sunday. It's Rob Zombie
really
light.
like him, but
Okay. Well, Rob Zombie did not do Aliens. Wait a minute, Britton. He didn't, did he?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you know the directors and everything, or are you that side of the
Yeah, I
film
do.
fan?
Yeah.
Talk to us about it.
Okay. This movie, Alien Covenant, Ridley Scott directed it. He directed the original and Prometheus, and he kind of wanted to come back after being away from it for so long. He said, okay, I want to revive this, and I'm not just going to leave it sitting there. I want to get a franchise out of this thing again, and I can crank out another 6 if I can, is what he said.
Well, and he directed Blade Runner.
Yes.
And Gladiator.
hmm
Black Rain.
The Martian. Yep.
The funny thing with Ridley Scott, though, is that he's so back and forth, especially concerning the Alien universe. You know, he's very timid. In all of the DVD collections, I've owned like 4 different versions of the anthology over the years, because every time a new format comes out, you got to buy the darn thing all over again, and then
Sure.
it's 120 here, 50 there, 75 there. I've done it all, man. I've had the anthologies of the VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and now the 4K one. But in a lot of those interviews, and especially on the Prometheus backsides and stuff like that, he's very timid about talking about where he's going with stuff, because I think he likes to leave himself open for interpretation. Like the title for this script changed like 7 times.
Yeah, it
for
was going to be
Prometheus 2 projectedly. Paradise Lost.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just all of these different things. And I think what it is that Ridley Scott likes to give us the finger from afar. I'm just going to say it, and I say that endearingly. He likes to put the rabbit out there, and you think that that's the trick, and you're trying to wonder where the hat's coming from. You don't realize you're wearing it. He just hasn't told you are yet. You know what I mean?
With this movie, he was very adamant when he made Prometheus. He said, okay, I don't want to have any xenomorphs in it. I want to veer away from that. And then this movie, he said, I'm going to go even farther. But then he saw people's reaction to Prometheus, and then he reasoned, oh, well, people actually do want to see it, so I'm going to put it back in there. I got Prometheus wrong, which I don't necessarily think that movie needed any xenomorphs in it, but I mean, if he's getting more and more closer to the feel of the original Alien, I think it's a good move to bring them back.
Well, with Prometheus, I mean, he even, and again, I'm going in the time machine here, people's viewpoints change, especially his.
Yeah.
But he originally was like, yes, it's in the same universe as Alien, but it's going to have absolutely nothing to do with Ripley. Like, I want to just go off in a completely different direction. I'm even going to leave the monster behind. And as we saw, he didn't technically leave the monster behind. He expanded on it in a different atrophy, which, again, brings me back to why I think Alien 3 is absolutely canon.
Well, the interesting thing, if I can interject, is tonally, the movie Prometheus in particular has a couple of issues, in that its third act is a different movie from the first 2 acts. The first 2 acts are heavy, broad stroke, big idea science fiction, with some interesting characterization. The Michael Fassbender's portrayal of David in Prometheus is just like this joyous, I want to be Lawrence of Arabia kind of thing. And, the problem is it turns into a monster movie. And
Yeah.
it's a mythology movie, and so
That's a problem?
it's why people
Well,
didn't
in that
respond to
franchise,
it the
it's
way
a
they
different
wanted
thing.
it to. It's a massive tonal shift.
That's because people thought that they had the gullet to tell Ridley Scott what he thought about something. You know what I mean? That's my personal
I think
take on it.
it had 2 problems. It had the problem of expectation. Everybody went in wanting what they wanted from a supposed prequel to the Alien movies, and the other thing is that what people want is to see people getting aced by monsters.
Right.
That audience wants to see people's heads getting blown up and things popping out of their chests and all that fun, gory stuff. But they don't get that until the end. You know what I mean? It's like they had to eat the whipped cream first and then they got the cherry. You know?
Yeah.
I thought it was a great homage to the original, to his own work, to his own body of work. His most I mean, arguably, his most famous body of work at that point in time. But he just, I just think Ridley Scott made it toned the exact same way that the original Alien was.
And he is phenomenal. He's proved you can do a Alien movie without Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We know for a fact you can't do a Halloween movie without Michael Myers, but you can do an Alien movie without Ripley. I just threw that out there because Halloween always comes up when I'm talking about movies. So.
They should have done it without Michael Myers.
You don't like Halloween? What is it? 3?
Yeah.
3 was awesome.
Where they put all the weird masks on and.
Yeah, that's not Halloween. That's some other thing. I'm not even sure what it was.
Okay. I know some people who love that movie, and I know some people who hate that movie. That's like one of those divisive flicks.
Sure. Yeah, I hated it.
Okay.
That's because there was never supposed to be Michael Myers Part 2, you know what I mean? It was supposed to carry on and be, a string of films about different associative things on Halloween, That's where you get that third one from, but people got invested, so...
Yeah.
Well, they got vested. I mean, Halloween was the perfect film. And, Part 2 was, just almost as good. It picked up a few minutes later from the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a rarity.
Which they weren't doing a whole lot at that time. The continuity was great.
And it went from a film that was, I guess, kind of a little scary film into a horror film with blood and gore, which the first one didn't have.
It's all about character development.
I agree.
All of it. Character development is lost on modern films sometimes. Everything is flash, bam, boom. Everything is.
Right.
I think that if we focus more on our lyricism in the way that we, denote script time to writing conversations and actually feeling them out so that they don't feel like they're written, and give the actors enough room that if they're good enough, they can ad-lib around what's already there and make it sound more human rather than tut, 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 space,
Is that the poet in you?
It is.
Okay.
It is. There's just a deep nature that's lost on everyone now. I mean, it's like everybody's afraid to be a little poetic in the way that they converse with one another.
Sure. What's your favorite thing about the franchise, Shane?
My favorite thing about the franchise is its Holy Bible religious connotations. And Ridley Scott, to me, is the king of Easter eggs. And he doesn't even really care if you notice the Easter eggs. They're Easter eggs for him. They're Easter eggs about ideas that you still don't know about. You know what I mean? And until years later when it's put on a DVD extra, you'll be like, oh, so that little readout on the screen in the 3.5 second flip over to Ash, exploding was actually a reference to where Parker and Brett went, we're on this last ship. I think they were on the Noma or something like the Nomba. I can't remember how to pronounce it, before they were commissioned to work on the Nostromo. And you're just like, well, how the heck was I supposed to know that? And Ridley Scott, again, behind the curtain going, I gotcha. Just so you know, there's more to come.
But movie buffs like us notice those things.
We do. Now, with the planet that they landed on in the first Alien movie, and obviously the second because Hadley's Hope was colonized there, but LV-426, Leviticus chapter 4, verse 26. I can't remember it verbatim off the top of my head, but it said something about dying in the to be on the prior. You know what I mean? To go in flames, and that's really kind of I guess the upper echelon way of thinking about Ripley's entire journey through time, and it is a journey through time. That woman sleeps for like 60 years between the first and second film, misses her child completely. You know what I mean? She grows old with cats and has no children. Like, I would be upset. I would be like, I went out to do some cool stuff. I kind of got stopped at a traffic light. Some stuff happened. I got carjacked, and then you didn't do any. You went looking for me and then stopped.
You gotta wonder if when they crack open that pod, they'd be like, so all your friends and coworkers are dead, but we couldn't help but notice you saved the cat.
Right? I think Jonesy had an embryo. I really do, because when you think about it, how many lives do cats have? They have 9. Okay, maybe Josie was a young cat on the ship, but Josie survives and ends up at the space station where she's dropped off and does not go with her to LV-426 at Hadley's Hope. So I want to know what happened to the space station in Jonesy, because there's a subplot with Jonesy that we are sorely missing.
And you will find out on a DVD extra in about 15 years when he tells you, hey, this is what I did.
Jonesy had that I've been used roughly kind of look in his eyes, though. That's
He did.
That's what worries me. Like,
Get away from me.
I don't think the off scenes were kind to Jonesy.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, he was mad for a reason. He was pissed. Why? Because a chest burster keeps trying to come through him, but he's got like 6 lives left, so even the chest burster's confused at this point.
Which was wonderfully shot, by the way.
Oh, yeah, John Hurt.
Well, and I found out just recently that they knew it was going to happen, the actors did, but they didn't think it was going to happen in that scene. So the looks that you get that are in that scene,
100%
genuine.
authentic.
That's a beautiful thing right there. Brenton, is there a weak film in this franchise?
Well, before Prometheus, a lot of fans discarded half of them, so 3 and Resurrection.
Well, Aliens was a great movie, right on its own. It could have ended there and we'd have been okay.
Absolutely, and that's what a lot of people choose to believe. But
Yeah, not Brenton, okay.
Yeah, I like Alien 3, the assembly cut version where they put 30 minutes back into it, so it
Sure.
makes it feel more complete. I actually have a funny story I could tell you about, not my own experience, but my dad's first experience with Alien, because he actually got to see the original in theaters before it officially came out. He won some tickets for himself and a guest to go to the movie before it came out, and he told me he took a date and she was absolutely terrified.
They all were.
Of
Man.
him
Yeah.
or the movie?
Oh, she was.
Okay.
He said, I thought it was the coolest and the scariest movie ever.
Because in space, no one can hear you scream.
Absolutely.
That's what they say, isn't it, Heather?
Sure.
Do you love this franchise? What do you love about
I
it?
mean,
Okay.
I like the movies. They're okay. I mean, it's not like my favorites, but
You don't get into them as deep as we do.
no, obviously. I like listening to you guys talk about it.
I don't
Rolling
think
Thunder.
the show is that long.
I love Ripley, and I love the whole thing that she represents. Like she's on the job, she's trying to do a good job. She tries to be a little bit standoffish. She's got that tough job that unfortunately a lot of women have of like trying to get respect from the boys. And she's a pro, and she does good. And this horrible thing happens to her, and she toughs it out through the end, and then she ends back up on this planet where there are aliens. And she looks. I love that scene when she looks at Hicks, and she says, "I'm feeling like a fifth wheel around here. Can you show me how to do something? I can handle myself. I don't want to be, she doesn't want to be a victim."
Right.
And that's a journey that you see a lot, and it's really forced in movies a lot of times. Is someone's like, "I'm going to come out on top." But Ripley's very practical. She didn't want to be in this situation. She'd much
Any more
rather
than she has to be.
Right. She'd much rather be anywhere else. But it makes her heroic that she faces those things in those situations and is like, not only am I going to survive, but I'm going to go back for Newt.
She's the John McClane of space.
Sure.
She really is.
Sure.
You know what
I
I
would
mean?
say John McClane is the Ripley of Nakatomi Tower.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Okay.
Timeline traipsing.
See what he did there, Heather? He kind of switched it around.
He flipped the script.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, Aliens 1979.
No. I agree. But if we're going technical, Ellen Ripley wasn't born until 2096. So
here we-
John McClane in the
There we go.
1950s. If
Long
universes
after
could collide.
Body Butter by Into the Woods. What else you got going? You got anything for Father's Day?
I don't yet, but I just ordered some stuff to make sunscreen.
Sweet.
Everybody's been on me about sunscreen because sunscreen is very toxic, and if you got the sun burning it into your body, it's even worse.
Wind up looking
Really?
like an alien, won't you?
Yeah, it's really bad for you.
Do a lot of dads butter and cream and stuff like that? I'm
You'd
being
be
serious.
surprised.
Like, do they lotion up?
You would be real surprised.
I think it's a great idea. Moisturizing's all right. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid of it.
Well,
I
women
love my
don't
lotion.
like guys with hands that feel like sandpaper.
The thing
I'm
is,
just saying.
I really respect it, but I always get I have a little momentary like when I grab a grown man's hand And it
it's
feels like it's
soft.
made it out of plush silken pillows.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I'm
like
sitting right
squish.
here, and you're going to talk about me like I'm not here.
Johnny, you're just fancy.
I love my lotion.
Oh, you fancy, huh?
Movie night with J.O. Media.
Puts the lotion on the skin. Or it gets the hose again.
Alien Covenant is just one of them we're discussing tonight. We're all over the board as usual. Mitch has got a lot of stuff going on up here. You got the stuff with Scarlet Lane. That's new. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I wanted to give something to the horror fans. The thing is, nobody's more hardcore than horror fans, like for
Absolutely.
sure. And they love what they love, and they want to see the movies they want to see, and a lot of the stuff they want to see is mainstream. But there is this huge independent film movement that is cranking out quality horror films right now, and they just don't make it out to the broad market. So it's really cool that we're able to do it, and we're able to get some of these independent films in, which is something we've, I know the owner of my company in particular always wants to be a big supporter of independent cinema, but we just like to do it because it gives us a little bit of a different flavor.
Now, are any of these movies local?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But we've kicked around the idea of doing some short films and some other things by local filmmakers, and we're definitely down with that.
Absolutely. That's going to be a lot of fun. Now, are these going to be on the website? We know when they're coming up, or?
Yeah, we've been making announcements through our Facebook page, Hamilton 16 IMAX, and we've also, it's listed on our website. You can purchase your tickets online. There's nothing too different about our process for it. Just look for, also you can follow Scarlet Lane. They've been doing a lot of announcements on Twitter and Facebook, and keep an eye out there.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. Doing any other events with these movie series?
Well, we've got our kids shows coming up, so unrelated, obviously, to horror movies, but
Sure.
Our summer series is coming up. That'll be like Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. We haven't released the lineup yet. I'm thinking that's this week. We have to wait for it to be finalized before we make an announcement, obviously, but it's Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. If you're a frequent moviegoer member, tickets are $1, up to 6 tickets. After that, it's $1. So it doesn't get to be, you can't get a much better deal than that.
It's $1 up to 6 tickets, then it's $1?
No, it's free up to 6 tickets
Okay.
if you're a frequent moviegoer
Gotcha.
card member. Thank you for catching me on that. And then everything after that would be $1. So it's a good deal.
That's an absolute good deal. But the Scarlet Lane movies, the horror movies, are we going to do any kind of, I guess, like launch parties, or is there going to be beer involved anywhere? Is what I need to.
Yeah, I mean we do a tap takeover
It's
when
Scarlet
Scarlet
Lane.
Lane comes
Yeah,
in,
there
and
we go.
we make sure we've got their stuff on tap. We've got their Horror Hound brew in a bottle right now. We've brought in some different things by them in the past as well. They're just really nice guys and
Absolutely.
really good organization. I'm really happy we're working with them.
I know several people who are real good friends with them, and everybody says the exact same thing you just did. We need to see if we can set up a night to do it after this show and just interview everybody from Scarlet Lane.
Sure, I bet they'd love that.
Just do a one-off show and see how things go from there.
Okay, cool.
Let's do that. Anything else going on at the theater here, brother, we need to know about?
Well,
We need to mention Screen Taps more often.
yeah, I mean, Screen Taps is doing great. We for Guardians we tapped Space Dust, which if you like, if you like the hops, and we're looking at bringing in a couple other things. I don't want to make it announced. There's one beer I want to bring in called the Trooper, but it's expensive.
Okay.
It's Iron Maiden's beer. You know the band Iron Maiden?
Oh yes, everybody.
They have a cream ale called the Trooper, and I love it. But it's expensive and it's hard to get.
Where can you get it? Like, I've never heard of this Trooper.
It's so good.
Is it?
The first time I had it was at a restaurant on Madison Ave, and then I've seen it in the liquor stores. But seriously, they'll charge like $20 a 4-pack or something
Good
like
Lord.
that.
It's
But
interesting.
It's really
that,
yummy.
It's interesting that Maiden has a cream ale. I'd expect something kind of harsh from
I
them.
guess that's like a traditional British, like that's their cream ale or nut wheats or whatever, or like their pilsners.
I'm a very simple domestic guy, so I'll try.
I like that green
care.
glass
I'll
beer,
try it.
man. Heineken, Grolsch, Pilsner, Kel.
I'm still searching
Dos
for my
Equis.
tequila from Adam Levine and Sammy Hagar. Came together and made a tequila, and I can't find it anywhere around here.
What's it called?
I don't remember.
Okay, I was waiting for a punchline. Adam Levine
No.
and Sammy Hagar make it tequila. And I was waiting for
No,
a punchline.
I don't have jokes.
Yeah, I'm not a
really.
Cabo Wabo guy. I'm not a fan of it anyway, so.
I tried a tequila once in a very, very sketchy situation with an old friend of mine. I'm not going to get into the situation because it just sounds bad, and I don't make bad decisions. I swear I don't. But this one actually had an okay outcome. It's called 100 Años, and it's from south of the border, south of California and Mexico. And my buddy's next door neighbor had like the most crass collection of different tequilas that I couldn't even pronounce, and some that weren't even labeled. So hopefully it wasn't like formaldehyde or something like that. But 100 Años is probably the best tequila I've ever had. If you can get a hold of some, definitely try it.
I'll have
It's
to
worth
check
the
that out.
bite. Worth the bite.
Tequila makes me especially amorous and sassy. It's not,
Yeah, wonderful. Yes.
like it's not the warm and fuzzy. Like there's a little bit of an edge to it. I try to avoid it. I don't always though.
He becomes
Sometimes
a
I wanna
pool
be-
shark for no reason.
Sometimes I want to be sassy.
Once again, brother, welcome back. It is movie
Thank you.
night with J.O. Media right here at Hamilton 16 IMAX. Into the Woods by Heather. Where can we find you online, darling?
You can find me on Facebook at Into the Woods by Heather, and then
And then
you can find me on JL Media Today.
there she is.
Sweet.
There she is. Speaking of which, my man Brenton, another part of J.O. Media Today, stepping up and becoming an intern with us.
Yes, very excited.
How are things going down at school, brother?
Well, I'm off for the summer now. I'm going to be a senior at IU come the fall time. So
Mazel tov.
thank you.
Very cool. My man Shane, Prosomnia.
What up?
Where can we find you online, brother?
You can find us online at facebook.com/Presomnia, YouTube, Presomnia Music, Xbox Live, Music, whatever it is now, SoundCloud, what have you. All of the usual major media outlets. I know that Presomnia's own Justin Downey loves hitting up our Instagram a lot, so you can see on there and see his casual art eye.
Yes, it's interesting what he posts at 3 o'clock in the morning, too, so be warned. You got some new music coming out here.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say necessarily coming out, but it's definitely in the works. You know what I mean? We're hashing ideas between the three of us, me, Pat, and Justin, and we're just kind of taking it slow and steady wins the race. You know what I mean? We've got families right now to take care of, and you can't put a chain on the beast and expect it to do what it does naturally. You know what I mean? You kind of just got to let it be and sit on certain things for a while.
Slow and steady wins the race. I've heard that. I'm a 3-minute guy myself, so not sure about that. Mitch
We're going to get along just fine.
Mitch Ross, Hamilton 69 Max. Brother, the website for here. Here we go. Bodybutter.com.
That'd be GoodrichQualityTheaters.com. I had a 3-pump chump joke, but 3pumpchump.com. Don't go to that website. I'm just kidding. I'm sure that's a real thing. Don't go there. It's gonna be the worst 12 hours of your life. GoodrichQualityTheaters.com, and we're the Hamilton 69 IMAX and GDX.
Definitely check out the Flashback series. One of my favorite things up here. I'm trying to finish it. I got Sundays and Wednesdays. It's 2 and 7, right?
Yes, sir. 2 and 7 p.m. Sundays and Wednesdays.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off is coming up, so I'm gonna definitely have to drag my sister up here. That's one of our
We had a
favorites.
big turnout for Sound of Music.
Really?
On Mother's Day, yeah. People were really, really digging it.
Well, I guess on Mother's Day that'd be the perfect movie, wouldn't it?
That was pretty cool. I mean, Sound of Music is fun.
All right, here we are. Thank you so much, brother. Good show.
Always good to be here,
I
Johnny.
hope we don't
Thank
get
you.
too many cards and letters from this episode. But
Do you get cards and letters?
I get comments and messages sent to me during Facebook like, what did you mean by this? And I have to explain it. And, yeah. And we love our listeners, so please keep them coming.
Hopefully
Good
there
or
wasn't a
bad,
child.
Yes,
Thank you, everyone,
Hopefully
for
there
tuning
wasn't
in.
a child on the new listening station behind me. I really got to get on the other side of this table. I know when to control myself.
The Sam Ash listening station has been utilized this evening. Yeah, there we go.
You got it.
Has
get
been
there
utilized
eventually.
this evening, and I think it's going to be a success. We're going to do them at all our live shows, not just movie nights. So check us out. And until next week, Mitch.
Yes, sir. Look forward to it.
There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They said he wandered